DAM's becoming extremely important when it comes to providing that personal customization, personalization element when it comes to content creation and actually how you use those assets itself. Users today will take an asset from the repository and start to use it in the ways that they see fit. But what happens in between that journey is how can you make that a lot more personal to the delivery to the users, the end users, the consumers, the one who ultimately will see this content, and how do you enable that to be customized for different geographic locations, different demographics, different seasons, different times. All of that has an important role, and it plays into how can we personalize this to make sure that it's effective and it's delivering the value that it needs to. So the importance is ever growing, and it's never a case of I'll pull this asset out, I'll use it as it is, and then I'll deliver it, because then you're not getting the right value for it. The personalization and customization element really comes into play because you as a creator of said content would want to deliver it at the maximum value for the audience that you're delivering it for. So there is a need to allow for the subtle changes or even the larger changes within those assets or the way that you create for certain platforms. So that becomes core to what DAM is and what the future of DAM will be. The personalization, the customization to deliver the right content for the right audience at the right time when you need it. Yes, so Papirfly's ability to personalize the content is absolutely key to what we do. So we don't just give you access to the assets, but the ability to actually control what those assets are, who they're for, and actually how does that change when needed for the deliveries that you need it for. So we take an example here. The content that you might want to deliver for a particular market might be around a certain age group. So let's say teenagers, for example. So you want to be able to customize that particular content for that particular audience. So what we allow the customer to do is actually create a series of different templates and structures that are still controlled to the brand guidelines, but allow you to have a lot of maneuverability around what you want to place within it. So these templates will have certain placements for certain elements, but what the user or the creators behind this can actually do is move certain assets in or out, change the way that certain texts are placed, move how the coloring and the positioning of what that content is delivering for that given audience. So this allows a lot of flexibility and personalization for the output. So this is about the posters, the campaign tools, the banners, the assets that's being used within those banners are being created for the audience that is intended for. So the personalization happens all the way at the beginning, where you can control what's in or what's present within those designs. We extend that personalization all the way through to allow them to set certain controls for certain regions. So automotive is a great example of this, where the brand, such as Mercedes, for example, have the overriding control of what that brand represents, the models that it's able to sell for each of the dealership. But each dealership is effectively a franchise, its own unit and its own business. You can allow certain controls for certain units or business units that exist within an organization. And that might change from region to region. The simplest form is certain models are only available for certain countries. That is able to be controlled through our platform, where you can actually allow certain assets to be available to certain regions or at certain times when there is promotion. Like if you use Coca-Cola as an example, where they only have a certain design of their cans available during Christmas. The Santa, the Father Christmas designs with the polar bears, that is controlled and within that module to say you can only use this during this period of time for this type of campaign. Beyond that, it's non-accessible anymore, but there is still that level of personalization because that might not be available to certain regions. So how do you make sure that that's delivered for the right audience at the right time? So going back to the example of the automotive industry, that's critical for them because when it comes to showcasing the availability of certain models or showcasing for certain features within that model, that might be part of the campaign, but you need to be able to control that and bring that back into the relevant audience. So we allow for this customization, personalization throughout so that you hit the right audience, the right market at the right time.